Once again, it's Kennard Vernon Stewart here for the podcast. We're talking to Auburn football. Go ahead and like the video, comment, and subscribe to Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger or Eagle. Different times, y'all. Just straight up different times. We're in July, late July, and instead of us thinking about the kickoff weekend, all the great football games we're going to watch, we're kind of sitting in limbo wondering whether this thing is actually going to happen or not. And that's a different kind of feeling, especially for folks in the South who, this is a way of life. College football is a part of the social, the mental, all of that kind of stratosphere in the South is intermingled with college football and just football in general, especially the SEC and the ACC and all of the other colleges that play football in the Deep South. I'm in the car again. This is a car cast. But, it's just really a different kind of feel because you want to think that some kind of way this thing can be figured out. But at the same time, it is an element beyond anyone's control as to whether the college football season is going to happen or not. And let's just say it does begin. And then something crazy happens. Like Alabama, for example, has 10 of their key players that test positive for the aforementioned pandemic. Then what happens? What happens if Auburn has 3 players, all quarterbacks test positive? That's why, even though you guys, I'm really hopeful for a season, but based on the media trajectory and based on the perception of this thing is not going to be, I just don't think this season is going to go uninterrupted. It's not going to be an uninterrupted season because it has not happened up to this point. Who's to say that college football has the leverage to be uninterrupted by this pandemic? They just don't. And the media, and I don't want to be that guy, but the media is not going to allow this to happen. It's not going to allow a situation where a key game is not going to be affected by someone being tested positive. So either way, we're going to move on with this particular video. It's a great Monday here in the Deep South where college football is king, and the battle cry is definitely War Eagle. And I just want to talk about a few things. For one, the schedule is going to be kind of chopped and screwed because one, the SWAC conference has obviously canceled their season. Guess who was the first game of the year? Perennial SWAC champion Alcorn State out of Lorma, Mississippi. Storied history in the SWAC conference, FCS football, was going to come down to Jordan-Hare Stadium to take on the Auburn Tigers. That will not happen. Obviously, the SWAC conference has canceled their season. So at this point, we're looking at possibilities. Like, who could Auburn play against? There are several open teams here for the first of the week. But when we really dissected who's Auburn going to play the first week, that might be an open week. Then you have the possibility of Auburn, who already takes on 2 SEC East teams, one being Kentucky, the other being a locked-in interconference rival with University of Georgia. I would like to see Auburn play Florida, honestly. I would love to have somewhat of a rematch between Auburn and Florida. And this is a game that was, somewhat of a storied rivalry, especially when you look at the mid-2000s. I would love to see Auburn and Florida play. To be fair, I love to see Auburn win football games. But to be fair, I don't care who wins. I just love to see Auburn and Florida play one another. Just like I love to see Auburn and Tennessee play one another. These are 2 teams that need to play one another. And this type of situation can give an opportunity for the Auburn Tigers to cheat the system to be able to play a rivalry game that they should play anyway. I love you guys, man. Love the Auburn Tigers. Love the SEC. I want to give a big shout out to my Fearless and True gang. That was early on in my YouTube tenure. Would love to see Auburn play against Florida, and would love to see Auburn play against Tennessee. They're going to play Kentucky anyway, which is always an intriguing game for the Tigers. Go ahead and like the video, comment, and subscribe to Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn. I am an Auburn alumnus, an Auburn enthusiast, and I try to be as objective about the Tigers as possible. Click the bell twice so you don't miss any of the content. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle.